Kick-ass facts, but pew pew pew! Today we were talking about interesting ways people have defended themselves against would-be attackers. That noise you hear in the background is Gozer chewing on a thing. What you got there, buddy? Alright. Let's start in the UK. 2006 in Manchester, a woman who had just finished her shopping used a frozen chicken to defend herself against a mugger. She swung the chicken at him and struck him in the side of the head, sending him fleeing in terror. You know. Later that day, when she made that chicken for her family, she was looking around the table like, you taste that? You taste that? That's the flavor of fearlessness. 2013, a shopkeeper in London was being robbed when he grabbed a nearby fish tank and used it to smash into the robber's face. The tank shattered, sending water and fish flying everywhere, disorienting the robber and causing him to flee in panic. I have no idea if the fish were okay, but I assume that they were. 2018, a London man found himself face to face with a home intruder, so he grabbed a sledgehammer and a jar of Marmite, a strong, sticky spread. It's disgusting. I said what I said. He used both as weapons. He swung the sledgehammer at the intruder's legs and then smeared Marmite all over his face, causing the man to run. 2020, another man in London stopped a robbery at a convenience store by throwing a roll of toilet paper at the robber. The robber, taken off guard, stumbled and dropped his weapon, allowing the man to overpower him until the police arrived. Ireland, 2019, a man in Dublin was being mugged in an alley. He reached into his bag, grabbed a banana, and threw it at the intruder. The robber slipped on the peel, and as he regained his balance, the man then threw a stapler at him. The stapler hit the robber in the chest. He stumbled back, giving the man time to escape. I need to start carrying more shit in my purse. Let's head over to the down under. I'm sorry, Australia. 2011, a man in Sydney foiled a robbery at his local convenience store by throwing a can of tuna at an armed robber. The robber was so surprised he ran out of the store without taking anything. 2016, a woman in Melbourne was attacked in her backyard. She grabbed a bag of flour, why it was in the backyard, I don't know, and tossed it into the attacker's face. The sudden cloud of flour left the man disoriented and he ran off covered in white powder. She could have used that to escape, like magic. 2016, a man was walking home when he saw a robbery taking place. Without hesitation, he grabbed a lawnmower from his neighbor's yard and chased the robbers down the street, revving the engine like a weapon. That sounds like a Temu version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Melbourne Lawnmower Massacre. 2017, a man defended himself by wielding a chainsaw in one hand and a live chicken in the other. That seems like overkill. He swung the chicken at the attacker, who was so confused that he ran off. Let's head over to New Zealand. 2017, a woman came home to find a burglar ransacking her house. She grabbed the nearest thing she could find, her large potted fern. She began swinging it at the intruder. The heavy plant pot struck him in the head and he bolted out of the house, leaving her safe and her houseplants intact. Italy, 2021, a woman was attacked while cooking dinner. In a frantic attempt to protect herself, she grabbed a boiling kettle of water and splashed it on the attacker, then threw a handful of spaghetti at him. The spaghetti stuck to his face like a bizarre net, giving her the chance to escape. Don't fuck with Nona when she's making pasta. France, 2013, in a small French town, two masked men attempted to rob a bakery. The shopkeeper, armed with nothing but a rolling pin, fought them off by hitting one of them in the head, causing them both to run away. 2016, a woman in Paris was attacked while walking home. She grabbed a nearby tank of helium balloons, released the gas, and used the tank as a weapon, smacking her attacker with the tank and confusing him with her high-pitched squeak of her voice as she shouted for help. The attacker ran away. Now we're in Canada. 2017, a shopkeeper in Vancouver grabbed a live lobster from a tank and used it as a weapon to fend off two would-be robbers who were trying to hold up his store. He swung the lobster at them, and they took off. 2019, a shopkeeper in Toronto was being robbed when he noticed a giant inflatable duck inside his store. He grabbed the duck and swung it at the robber, knocking him off balance. The robber panicked and ran away. And now we are in Mexico. 2018, a woman was attacked while walking home, and in a panic, she grabbed the nearest thing to her, a cactus. She thrust it at her attacker, causing him to recoil in pain and run off.